Now, we also talked about the reserve keywords. So I'm also going to show you how to bring out those reserve keywords. Python has about 35 reserve keywords that you cannot use to name any variable. So those reserve keywords, I'm going to bring them out for you now so that you will see them and know them, so that next time when we are writing our program, you will not use any of those reserve keywords in defining your variable. I'm going to write a little program to show you the reserve keywords that we have in Python. So I will remove this one. I will remove this. Now I'm going to import a module. I'm going to import a module. Import, right? Import keyword. Now, keyword is a module in Python. So I'm going to import keyword. Then I'm going to write a little program. I'm going to explain this program to you. So what I will do is I will create a variable. I'm still going to explain variable. I will create a variable, which is a memory location. So I will create a variable, and then I will assign, I will call an attribute in this keyword. Let me just write it, then I will explain. Okay. So if you look at this small script that I've written, what am I doing here? I am importing a module. This keyword is a module. You understand? I'm importing a module. Now, keyword is a module in Python. So I'm importing this keyword. Now, inside this keyword, there's an attribute which is known as KW list. Now, this KW list is an attribute in keyword. Remember when we were doing SQL, you talk about a table and then you talk about the columns in the table. Now, this KW list is like a column. This, for example, is like a table. This keyword is like a table, but it's actually a module. And then this KW list is an attribute in this module, which is like a column in a table. And all the reserved keywords are under this KW list. So it's a container that those reserved keywords are in. So what I'm doing now is that I am creating a variable. This reserved is a variable name. I can give any other name. So import keyword. Then I created a variable, and look at this symbol. This in mathematics is equals to, but in Python is not equals to. This is assignment operator. We will still look at it when we get to operator. So what I'm saying here is that I am going into this module. That is why I call the module keyword dot KW list. I'm going into this module, and then I'm checking at this attribute, which is like a column. And I'm saying everything that is in this column, for example, everything that is in this attribute, copy them and assign them to this variable. This variable is a memory location in my computer that the system automatically creates. The moment you declare a variable like this, it will be created in the memory. So I am going into this module and I'm looking for this attribute, which is KW list. This KW list is the one that contains all the reserved keywords. So I'm saying copy everything that is in this container and put it here. Then I am now saying num reserved. This is another variable that I've created again. When I created this variable, I'm now calling another function called len. This function, the work of this function is to count how many things are inside this, and then assign it to this num reserved. And once this is assigned, I can now say, okay, print total number of reserved keywords. And I'm saying, when you are going to give me the output, also display this as it is, not from here. Anything that is in this double quote is what I'm going to display. It will not display the double quote. So it's going to display everything that is inside the double quote. So display this first and foremost, and then go to this num reserved and show me what is inside. Display what is inside. So I'm going to explain again. I can just change this to num, or let's say number. So I can just change this to number, and then I will come here and change it to number. So what this means is that I I am going to a module. I'm importing a module in Python, and I'm saying that inside this module, there is an attribute called KW list. This KW list is what contains all the reserved keywords in Python. Now, I am going to copy all of them and put them inside this my memory location, which is the variable that I created. A variable is a name that you give to a memory location. So copy everything that is here and put it inside this place. This is not equals to, this is assignment operator. Assign everything that is on the right hand side to what is on the left hand side. Then I am also going to declare another variable, which is number. And I'm saying, I'm calling another function, which is len. This len is a function. And I'm supplying what this reserved, I'm supplying it to as the parameter of this len. So this len is going to count. So all the reserved keywords that are going to be placed here will be counted by len. And the total number of them will be placed in this place, in this variable. Then I'm now calling another function, which is the print function. And I'm saying, print out what is inside this place. But before you give me the answer as my output, also bring this, which is the total number of reserved keywords, out as a string. Then this colon, and then this number, which is what will be returned into this place, the parameter, the argument, the data that is in this number will now be displayed. So this is a parameter that is supplied. But once this print function is going to bring it out, it's going to replace whatever it is inside this place. That's what it's going to print out for me. So I'm going to just execute it. I will click here and I will click on execute. So total number of reserved keywords is 35. Okay, now I am also, you can see what happened is this reserved variable has taken in all the things that came from this keyword.kw list. But because I didn't ask it to display it on the screen, you are not seeing it on the screen. So it's like saying, when, for example, when the officer, the police, wants to arrest somebody, they always tell you that you have the right to remain silent. Whatever you say will be used against you in the court of law. Meaning, whatever it is that you say is being recorded, which in reality of life, whatever you say with your mouth is being recorded. Now, if you've not called the function that is going to display it in reality, you will not see it, but it is there. Now, if you now meet somebody who sees where you have recorded that your statement, the person understands how to display it in the physical world. The person will do it. And then you now realize that things are happening to you and you're asking yourself, how did this happen? I didn't ask for this. Why is it happening? No, you did. At one time in your life, you planted that seed. But just because you didn't call the display function to display it in the real world doesn't mean that it is not existing. You said it and it is existing. Now, you are now meeting somebody or carrying out an action which will call that thing that you have kept to be displayed. And then the thing will be displayed and you say, I didn't ask for this. So for good, for evil, you say it and it will later happen, except you change it. So if you didn't change it, it will happen. So be careful what you say. That is what we are told. Now, the same thing applies here. I created a variable, a storage, and I called the keyword.kw list to enter into that variable. It has kept those things there. But because I didn't call a display function to display what is in that reserved, you are not seeing it on the screen. The only thing I asked the display function, which is this print function, to show me on my screen is the number of what is inside. So now I am going to call the display function, which is this print function, to also display the content of this reserved variable. Now you are going to see all the reserved keywords. So what will I do? I can come here and just say print. I will call that function again and say reserved. So is going to display what is in this reserved. Now, if I click here and I execute this again, so look at it. Look at what it did. The first one, I call the print function. Now, these are the reserved keywords: false, none, true, and, as, like that. If you scroll, you will see all of them. So these are the reserved keywords. How many are they? Based on this other instruction that I gave, there are what? 35 of them. So programming is all about, I told you, programming is all about code in one hand, data in the other hand. So your ability to understand these various code that you are going to supply the data to is the key. That is what matters. That is all. You have code in one hand, you have data in the other hand. So anytime you want something done, your ability to know which of these code am I going to code to this data to give me this output that I want is just what makes you different. The concept is the same. Code in one hand, data in the other hand. You bring them together, you get a manifestation. So what am I doing here? I have all these reserved keywords I kept somewhere. And where are they kept? They are kept in KW list. And this KW list is an attribute in keyword. So I am importing this module, which is a keyword module. So it's like I'm importing a library. And then in this library, I have all the keywords stored there. So what did I do next? I created another location. And I said, this location that I'm creating, I am going to assign everything that is in this KW list. I'm going to copy them and put them inside this location that I've created. Then I go to the print function and I say, print function, please come. Go to this place and display every content inside on the screen for me. So this is my script that I've written, which is what I am saying. The interpreter is behind the scene, waiting for me to say, go ahead and execute. So the moment I say, go ahead and execute, the interpreter will look at what I have written, check the syntax. If everything is okay, the interpreter will execute this thing. But if there is an error, the interpreter will show me that error. It will not execute. So when you ask for something, when you say something and you want that thing to manifest, and you don't see it manifest, it's either there is an error, what you said was not correct, not that anything is being delayed. You just have not said the right syntax. If you say the syntax correctly, immediately you will see the output. So when I said I can say, hold this for me, and this water will suspend in the air, it can actually happen. It can be done. But because I don't understand the code to call to execute that, that is why for now I cannot do it. But that doesn't mean it cannot be done. So everything is possible. Everything can be done. But you just don't know the right command to give for that thing to be done. So whoever it is that is manifesting anything for you is waiting for you to give the right command. Once you give the right command, it manifests. Same thing happened here. So for me, the beauty of this is that I use this concept to be able to learn and understand how my real world function or operates. So I just did this to show you the keywords that we have in Python. And I've shown you there are 35 of them. And these are all the keywords. So they are stored. So what I did now, I pulled them out from the Python world. I pulled them out from the Python world and displayed them on my computer screen. So this is my computer screen. So this, I told you that we are living in a multiverse. So when I wrote this script, I called my interpreter to carry out this for me. So the interpreter looks at the syntax, everything is fine, then goes into the Python world, executes all these things, come back, communicate with the operating system, look at the memory, pull out the data that are needed, then the operating system will help to convert it to the language the hardware is going to understand, which is what? 0 and 1. And then once the processor carry out that process and the whole thing is done, it hands it back to the operating system, and the operating system will call the display that is going to bring this on the screen. Now, if you don't call the display to show it on the screen, This part is like this is like me talking, and this is like manifestation. So between this my speech and this my manifestation, so many things have taken place behind the scene. So many things. So that is it. That is what I want to show you in this. So I'm going to pause here and continue the remaining one in the next class. So till then, see you in the next class.